Finally, on June 24th, after nearly 3 long years of waiting, we will finally have half of the season of Ironheart released, a 3-episode premiere of a 6-episode season of a show that has been finished and completed since the beginning of 2023. Marvel will be using this as a bridge between Thunderbolts into Fantastic Four, and well, after the first iconic trailer that they released, how could they go out and cultivate even more enthusiasm for their next upcoming project? Well, by releasing this new trailer that is somehow even more cringe, because apparently Riri Williams, it's not so much that she's a super genius, okay, who could, out of just sheer spite of a teacher who, at her probing, okay, and at her agitation, came up with the inspiration to surpass Tony Stark because she was told that she couldn't beat Tony Stark, created an Iron Man suit, has to go ahead and imbue her mech with demonic magic? Is that what we're doing out here? I mean, okay, cool. Yeah, we know that the Hood and Mephisto is going to be in this, which is absolutely wild. But yeah, then you got, okay, then you start to have what, blood runes or something like that, and some really wonky looking CGI. Yeah, okay, so yeah, you're drawing with what I hope is red paint, a bunch of moon runes. Okay, and then then you have it going into your suit. Like, what are we doing? Okay, this looks absolutely insane. But the worst is definitely saved for last, and now we'll put the sound on because we get to engage and we get to enjoy some cringe together. So without further ado,
Riri, time to wake up, love. What are you? Your greatest creation yet. Who?
Okay, you created this. Okay, I'll have to run it back here real quick. But yeah, you created this, but you don't know what it is. So is she also a super genius, a tech wizard, and she's also going to be an actual wizard, or I guess a witch in this case. I'm sorry. I have to leave that up to her. It is apparently her dead best friend. Ugh. We're all going to be that after we have to, endure the 3-episode premiere. But she has to be told once again how great she is by, having somebody else describe her greatest creation to her because she's unaware of what she created. That's the level of intellect we're dealing with on this one.
Who the hell else would it be, bitch?
Oh, I heard this described as this is what would happen, and this is what you would put out if you were doing a parody of superhero films. This would slot in perfectly with, superhero movie that came out, God, what, a decade and a half ago at this point? What the fuck are we doing, dude? And while you can take a look at the ratio and just the sheer apathy that this trailer is receiving on Twitter, if you go over to YouTube, well, it's getting the Ironheart treatment, okay? So dislikes surge on new Ironheart trailer, while the original trailer surpasses 500,000 downvotes. Congratulations! A very historic and a very iconic record. An Ironheart trailer releases and dislikes come pouring in. The cycle continues for Disney and Marvel with the release of its recent Ironheart trailer on YouTube. Marvel Studios might be hoping fans are ready to embrace Ironheart by judging by the brutal response to the trailers. Audiences are already voting with their thumbs, and it's not looking good. Released just 1 month ago, the first full Ironheart trailer drew instant skepticism, and the numbers show it. As of June 12th, the original Ironheart trailer has over 500,000 dislikes to 216,000 likes on YouTube. Not great. Not great at all. But the latest trailer, absolutely seals its fate. Second trailer currently sits at 44,000 dislikes compared to 40,000 likes. Once again, flipping the sentiment ratio and confirming the fans' rejection. It wasn't a fluke. It's a trend. But yeah, just the simple fact that, in the first 24 hours, you can only generate 84, 85, depending on, because obviously, it's a third-party extension that you use in order to see the dislikes, but you can't even crack 100,000 units of engagement on YouTube with your 21 million subscriber channel. Getting ratioed is one thing, but just the sheer apathy of audiences, that's kind of another. Okay, but no, not to be outdone, they decided to release another trailer. And this time around, well, we don't really need any sound, mostly because they're just simply playing movie clips of, well, all of the movies that you guys like, featuring all of the characters that you do, because, hey, man, look at that. You like Tony Stark, you like Iron Man, you guys like Spider-Man, you like the Iron Spider suit. That was cool. You remember Jeff Bridges? He's Ironmonger, because he said Tony Stark, yeah, he was able to build the suit in the box of in the cave with a box of scraps. And, well, you don't remember oh my god, Terrence Howard. I just about didn't for a second, but you remember Rhodey, because he's Don Cheadle now, but the rest of the MCU doesn't. He was supposed to have Armor Wars, but Pepper, she was in a suit. And now, hey, because you love all of those iconic old characters, you'll love the really iconic Iron Woman, or I'm sorry, not Iron Woman, she wishes she could be, but Ironheart, because she also did the thing that the Hulk did by flipping the truck. It's going to be great. It's not about the suit, it's who's behind it. But no, the way that you guys pitched this to begin with is Riri Williams is a super genius who made the suit in her bedroom. So it was about the person behind the suit. And if it wasn't about who's behind the suit, why are you trying to use Robert Downey Jr. to market your flop in waiting? Ironheart star thinks you should watch her show because Robert Downey Jr. supposedly likes it. Yeah, and he also supposedly likes Riri Williams because they met in a hallway once and he went, good on you, kid. Oh, that was nice. You're working for Marvel, huh? Fetch me a coffee. Oh, no, you're a star. Oh, okay, cool. That's great. Good luck on your future endeavors, and make sure to give thanks to me for, launching this franchise to begin with. But Dominique Thorne wants Marvel fans to get on the Ironheart bandwagon. And she says Robert Downey Jr. is already riding shotgun. But is that enough to sell a series few were asking for? No, because you're gonna either through malice or through sheer incompetence. I would go ahead and chalk it up to the latter. You're gonna undercut the accomplishments of Tony Stark in the original Iron Man. Marvel just can't help but assassinate characters. It's basically what they're the best at doing. Okay, flopping at the box office is a close second, but yeah, assassinating characters that are both in and just associated with the story, they're very good at doing that. But then also wasting Mephisto, okay, like a top 3 Marvel villain. You're just wasting it like that. It's almost going to be as egregious as what is going to happen to Galactus next month. With Ironheart still on the horizon and hype running low, Marvel is leaning heavily on borrowed nostalgia to convince audiences that Riri Williams is the rightful heir to Tony Stark's legacy, but longtime fans aren't convinced. When asked about comparisons between Riri and Iron Man, Dominique Thorne confidently told fans to get on board. All right, hey, I appreciate this, as opposed to, you better watch it, otherwise you're going to be a racist, sexist bigot, or a sexist, racist bigot. That's going to be the most interesting part about Ironheart. She so desperately wants to be Iron Man, but now when it comes to all of the shills defending this atrocious show, which obviously I haven't seen it yet, but we all kind of know it's going to be ass. But yeah, when the shills come out, it's just, how are they going to go ahead and order the Oppression Olympics? Are they going to put race first, or are they going to put sex first? Or if it comes out that she's gay, sexuality. It's just that's going to be the most interesting aspect of Ironheart. But that reference to Robert Downey Jr. comes from a brief encounter the two shared, which Thorne previously described as exciting and involving the literal double thumbs up. It's an anecdote that now is being treated by Marvel as a symbolic torch passing, despite no narrative connection between Iron Man and Ironheart in the MCU itself. Marvel has gone out of its way to frame Riri and Tony Stark as spiritually connected, but in reality, the two never shared screen time. No, because Tony was out of the MCU by the time that Wakanda Forever, which, without me saying that, I bet you probably wouldn't have even known when Riri debuted. But then also, you probably would have thought that, wow, this is somebody. It's kind of like Moon Knight. Everybody forgot that show came around. But yeah, it's just a brand new character that you're giving a show to. Kind of a weird choice. But no. She had 16 minutes of screen time in Wakanda Forever, a movie so long that you would have thought it was Avatar, also because it had a lot of water, and it's equally as forgettable. Thorne has previously framed Riri's resourcefulness, that's a tough thing to say, as superior to Tony Stark's privilege, right? She's dumpster diving, whereas Tony Stark was a bajillionaire. But yeah, I mean, just going back to the trailer, okay, we got to go to the proper trailer. I don't want to play it anymore because it's real loud, but you just, you take a look at where she's working on things, and she's got magic, which, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, Tony was a bajillionaire, but she could also use, hood magic, which is interesting. Okay, well, not that type of hood magic, but red hood magic, because they race swapped hood, which, I mean, why are you doing that? It's kind of like how you're also race swapping Mephisto in kind of an unintentionally hilarious way. But doesn't that kind of undercut the story that you want to tell? But yeah, Tony Stark was a bajillionaire. She said, placing her character above the beloved Marvel icon, what she's able to accomplish is remarkable. I guess I'll take your word for it right now. But yeah, in very short order, in just a little over a week, we're going to be able to see and assess the damage for ourselves. Oh boy, we're in for something special. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo, and I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.